Well, we gotta understand that Keon's a cyborg.
Well,
Keon doesn't really have a whole lot of emotions in a sense. You can be like, you can be
You know what it is?
you can spill your guts to Keon, which I have before. And you know what Keon did to me when I spilled my guts to this dude, when I lived with this guy and his family? This was his response to me. Shrugged his shoulders. Spilled my heart to this man when I'm going through, struggling.
Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for
on the way here.
On the way here?
On the way here.
I felt like the conversation on the way here was like pretty pleasant. It wasn't
It was. I played him a clip. It was the Women Want Everything clip. Lisa, I can't remember her last name.
Carson, something like that.
Yeah.
Nicole Carson.
It was an old interview.
On Chris Rock.
Remember the girl from Jason's Lyric when with the big ass titties?
Yeah.
She was like, and he washed my feet.
Yeah. I like her.
She was saying pretty
She
much
was
on that,
sexy.
like how men have to. A woman should pretty much get everything that she wants, pretty much in a sense.
And then we riffed into the Kevin Samuel.
How
some
how
shit.
it gets, we talk about how Kevin Samuels kind of gets.
The packet. It's talking about sort of a woman's sort of ability to kind of to accept something or to receive something, to receive a message. But it has to be packaged in a way to where it's not too hostile or it's not too aggressive.
Or
Otherwise,
it's not too soft because they don't respect it. If it's coming off too like that comes off too weak, or they just don't respect you as a man because they feel like you're a good guy or whatever. Packaging that message, they want it delivered specifically the way they want it delivered, and we don't know what that is because
which is interesting because it's like, are you open to criticism? Because I be looking shit up, like how do you criticize a sensitive person?
Bruh, well, when you find out, let me know.
You know what I mean? Like in a way where it's productive.
right. Yeah.
You know, like how do I package this? Do I do the old school sandwich compliment, negative compliment? Like what do I have to do in order to get the point across to where, you know, we can get shit done?
Yeah, because I haven't learned in 3 decades. So I
you don't know how to package it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think having children has helped. Having a wife has helped. But yeah, and I don't even know if that's woman specific. With somebody like me,
You just shoot.
a lot of
from the
people
hip.
can't shoot. Can't handle it. So
Well, we gotta understand that Keon's a cyborg. Keon doesn't really have a whole lot of emotions in a sense. You can be like, you can be spilling, you can spill your guts to Keon, which I have before. And you know what Keon did to me when I spilled my guts to this dude, when I lived with this guy and his family? This was his response to me. Shrugged his shoulders. Spilled my heart to this man when I'm going through, struggling. If y'all ever follow me, I told a story on not Squadcast, but like Cheer had a show. I forgot the show was called. They used to have where we all be on there. Zooming with the homies. I talked about how Tony did the same thing. Tony fell asleep on me when I spilled my guts. Keon shrugged his shoulders when I spilled my guts. I was like, I'm not spilling my guts to no nigga.
I don't remember
nobody.
you spilling your guts about anything.
He's like, I don't even remember. I thought you were just talking.
Plenty of times, and I respect, like, I remember because I know Keon comes from a place like, from what I remember, if you can't control it, like, why are you tripping? And this is when I figured that out. When his mom was staying with us too, and I was telling his mom something, and she looked at me and she was like, Can you control that situation? I was like, no. She's like, why are you worried about it? And she just walked off. And I was like,
there's another Keon in the house.
But I was like, that's where he gets it from. But it's like, she was 100% right. I wasn't mad. I was just like, oh, okay. Even when he was saying that, it was like, it makes sense. If you can't control something,
Why are you worried about it?
yeah, if you're going to have a split second to worry about something, don't trip. And that's what we kind of had a discussion in the car about. Sometimes our ladies be having this emotional, they be sitting there for like a whole day emotionally like messed up by something that they can't control, and they mess up the energy in the house.
Or you can't control, and it's not even a big deal. It's not even.
Or it's not a big deal.
Either or.
And my
yeah.
thing is, because people always say that I don't have feelings, emotions, which is not true. My thing is control of that. My thing is living within that. I don't live too high or too low.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if I'm pissed or sad or whatever, I address that, and then I'm like, all right, let's move on. If I'm riding high, I don't want to stay up there because then it's like you can crash hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this was fun.
Yeah.
This was dope. This is a great experience. All right, we got work to do.
Eventually come
But
back.
people like to live high or low, and that's too
Yeah.
much. And
Yeah.
then you're dramatic as hell. It's just like, feel it.
So Kenan, why you so goddamn dramatic is what Keon's asking. He's like, why you so fucking dramatic? Why'd you have to be so dramatic about that situation?
Sorry, a nigga went through trauma when he was a kid. Sorry, I went through stuff and I had to go. But I mean, at that point, I didn't go to therapy. At that point, I went to I went through 3 years of therapy or whatever the case may be. So now it's different now for me. But at that particular time, you gotta understand, I had got pretty much kicked out of the place I was staying at because some idiot got us kicked out. Cause I had multiple roommates.
It wasn't your fault. Therapy didn't teach you accountability.
Actually, it wasn't. It was literally
another nigga done this.
Two dudes that were living with us too. They got into it, and then one of the dudes told the landlord, thinking he was going to only get one person kicked out, and the landlord said, "I'm tired of dealing with this. All y'all gotta go." And I came home with it we pretty much came home with an eviction notice. So Keon had let me stay with him, so I wasn't in my best financial space. I wasn't in my best living space. I wasn't probably in my best mental space. I wasn't. I was living in a messy room because I kept my room messy,
dirty,
and I wasn't necessarily probably even eating the best. So I wasn't in the best space at all overall. So it was like at that particular point, yeah, nigga. So what? I was probably dramatic at that time, nigga. So what?
But hey, guys, hey, I want everybody to realize though, during his dramatic time, I might have shrugged. Hey, but the nigga had a place to stay.
Did food to eat. Looked out for me.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that was his way. That was his way of communicating that to you.
I am an action person. Like you could be like, you know what I'm saying?
You're a man's man.
Yeah.
You're a man's man. Like, you don't have the capability to tap into that.
This nigga has told me like family stuff, and I'd be like, that'd be great on stage.
Yeah. That's like,
And I was like, that'd be hilarious to say on stage.
And you need that though.
Yeah, but I also be like, you know what I mean? You don't have to like really ask for nothing though. If a nigga be like, you feel me? Bruh, like blah blah. I'll be like, man, who gives a shit? But I'll be like, crash on the couch. You know what I mean? Like, stop tripping, but I also got you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not gonna be like, well, you want to go get coffee and
the joke is the running joke is Keon's a cyborg or android or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I'm not. I understand that. I understand 100% what this dude has done for me.
Right.
So yeah. So I don't.
Not to negate that.
It's a joke.
It doesn't negate that at all.
Yeah.
But I think what it is that there are essentially grievances that you want to air, that you want to kind of put out into the space that don't really have an answer. And Keon's response to that is like, I don't really have an answer. Yeah. But there is no answer.
Well, that was back then. Now
he's like, now I know not to come to you. It's like you learn. It's like you think I'm gonna come to you again.
What he's learned from me and my mom was that if you can't control it, why you tripping?
But Keon was probably like, damn, nigga, I don't know, Kenan. It feel like me and you we used to be close. He's like, yeah, nigga, I don't tell you shit no.
But no, part of that was true. It's like once honestly, it took honestly his mom kind of saying it. Maybe because somebody that's like just she
mom.
That's big. That's big. Because we talked about that at a point in time too, about the message versus the messenger.
Right.
So you needed to hear it from Keon's mom in order to kind of humanize Keon and who he is as well.
Well, kind of. I mean, the Jordan joke, not just with me, even in the group, our group text like that, Keon's kind of like a cyborg. But it was just like,
nigga plugs in, plug him in.
So that's kind of the joke, but that's not. At the end of the day, I know Keon had my back and had love for me because, at the end of the day, he put me in a space where it's like, yo, what can you pay? Here's what you can pay. Pay that, you good to go. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. He could have been like, hey man, rent us at this particular price because you're renting a room out. He was just like, what can you afford, bro? And I was like, here. So I understand that, but I also know that Keon. I also understand that. Like you said, if Keon probably looking at it, I'm spilling my guts, or anybody spilling their guts to him, he's like, yo, if we can't really control this or get the situation worked out, chill. And that, like I said, that's probably 6-7 years ago. So it was like once that came through, and I was like, all right.
But you good now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. You good now?
For me, I've been through therapy and everything like that. So for me personally, I
don't fuck with therapy.
Huh?
I don't even fuck. Okay, go ahead.
No, I understand that. I'm not one of the people everybody need to go to therapy.
I think everybody should go.
I think everybody should.
You go to therapy?
But I understand that.
No, but I want to go on some I just want to get a different perspective because I spend a lot of time trying to think, why do I do this? Or where does this come from? Whatever, whatever. But I would like a different outlook. Like, I understand I get a lot of things from my mom. My personality is a lot like my mom. Or like, the reason why I don't like arguing is because I grew up with a father who argued for sport. So like when I see people going off the rails, or you're not trying to make a point, or I'm like, I'm out, I tap out. And some people be like, no, you're just wrong. And I'm like, no, I see this is not going anywhere. Why waste my time with this? I did that for 17 years. I'm not doing that again. Yeah. So I understand why I do a lot of things and why I'm the way I am. But I would like to go just on some, maybe find something new or see.
That's interesting you said that, because before you said you're someone who is trying to resolve shit in the moment. But when you tap out, that leaves
because I see
the argument still open.
Because I see that it's not going to be resolved. I'm not going to spend any more energy because this is literally waste of time. You can't hear me because you're in your feelings or whatever like that, and you're at this. When I see you go off and change topics, you're not trying to fix this. You're trying to be right, or you're trying to just get what you want out. But it's like, that's not fixing this, and I'm just gonna wait until you're in a space to have this conversation.
If the conversation keeps running in circles and circles and circles, it's like, all right,
you're not hearing me.
Yeah, let's probably even take a day break from this, or a break for this, and we can come back and
go sort out your thoughts. A lot of people can't sort their thoughts out,
which is healthy. That's the healthy approach. Right. But I feel like you just voluntarily like tapping out is almost, I don't want to say condescending, but it's almost like belittling a person in a way where it's like, you're not on my level right now. I'm gonna wait till you get back to my level.
He laughing because that's how he feels.
You know what I mean? It's like, you're not on my level yet.
He's laughing because that's how he feels.
So once you go do what you got to, you go work on yourself for about an hour.
This is Keon. We stop being a freaking idiot, being a dumbass. Yeah. Come back.
Then we can come back. You can talk. And I'm gonna be on my throne. I'll be sitting like this on my throne, waiting.
You know what's crazy is I didn't look at it like that until we do Daddy Issues podcast, and people was like, "Man, he sounds like an elitist," and I'm like, "No, I just don't like wasting my time." It's not that I think, and a lot of times I might even be right. But I'm like, let's just make sense. I'm so big on making sense.
I'm big on sense. I'm big on sense.
And a lot of people, when arguing with emotion, are not making sense. I'm like, we can both be right. We can both be wrong. I just need to know, make sense. You could be saying something that I don't agree with. But if it's making sense, I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I don't agree with you. But I see where you're coming. When you're just spewing shit out and trying to make sense, I'm like, no, I'm not.
I think to go to that particular point, because I love that. I'm real big on, like, we don't have to agree, but I understand what you're saying.
Right.
I think when people feel like if you don't agree with them, like, you think that they're wrong or you're wrong, and it's just like, no, we're just like,
and we both can be right. We both can be right.
But there are instances where there is a right. And one person is right and the other person is wrong. How do you even just with minuscule bullshit, you know, like if this TV is 48 inches.
Here we go. But I'm with
nigga, the TV's 48 inches.
Right.
She comes in, the TV is 87 inches. Bro,
first of all,
the TV
that's double, nigga. That's
I'm like,
crazy,
bro,
man.
the TV is 48 inches. Right. When a truth, an objective truth does exist.
Right.
Is it your job or do you feel comfortable revealing that truth, or researching that truth, or finding out that truth, figuring out that truth, and presenting it? Or do you just like let her live in her truth?
No, I don't.
She believes it's 88 inches.
I don't, because people have gone too far with the.
I've had this actual disagreement with my partner, and it doesn't matter. There are people who live in the it doesn't matter world.
Right.
Let's just move on.
Right.
But I'm a what is the actual truth? And if it is 87 inches, I'll admit fault. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because my thing with her, because she's a pure emotional arguer, pure. Even when it's small.
Like, so you're saying like no logic.
There's, nigga, it just goes off the rails. So I'm real quick to be like, let's just Google it. Let's just look, because it'd be small stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, we do the Googles, but
let's do the Google. But she will argue, I'm like, because I'm trying to avoid going down the rabbit hole, right? So I'm like, okay, let's just look, like, okay, the other day, she goes, I said, I'm going to go to Costco and get some pasta. When I say the word pasta, what do you guys think?
I think, hold on, spaghetti noodles.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. She thinks linguine.
No, it doesn't matter, because that's
angel
pasta.
hair.
That's all pasta.
Okay.
She
Oh,
was
shit.
talking about chow mein.
Nigga, I'm about to run off this fucking set.
She was talking about chow mein. So she goes, I said, I'm going to go get the pasta for the kids so we can have pasta, right?
Yeah.
She goes, oh yeah, I like that stuff that you got last time with the vegetables and the stir fry. I was like, no, that was like a chow mein type
noodles.
dish.
Yeah,
That's not,
yeah.
That's noodles.
That's
But the
noodles.
but the
But
particular,
she goes, well, it's all noodles. I said, I know. But pasta, no one, first of all, no one in their right mind, no one thinks, when you say pasta, everybody goes Italian.
Yes.
When you say noodles, pho, what is it called? Pho?
Food or yeah.
Pho is
Pho.
noodles,
Pho.
but you wouldn't call that pasta.
Yeah.
So there's different kind of noodles, blah, blah. So before she even got going, I said, you know what, let's Google it.
Chinese pasta.
I said, let's Google it.
Chinese pasta.
Let's Google it. She goes, well, it doesn't even matter. So she already knows I made a bit off too much.
Yeah.
I said, well, let's just Google it and see. Well, who cares? I'm like, well, we're
We're
here
here
now.
now.
Yeah, we're here.
So
We're
let's just
here.
look it up. 'Cause
What is
I
the
was
truth?
I was prepared
To just
to
move
look
on.
it up and it say all noodles are the same. Be like, oh shit, you were right.
Okay.
So I look it up, and it says chow mein noodles. They would call chow mein or whatever, and then pasta is the linguine. But I said, well, here it is. She was like, well,
Is that? Did you do that with the hands? Well, I present to you.
I said I googled it, and no, I was in the back room actually.
Okay.
So I'm in the back room. I
Here
go,
the shit is right here.
I go.
Found it.
I go, nope.
See?
I go, nope. It says they're different.
Oh man.
But her whole thing was like, even when I try to kill it and be like, well, let's just look it up so we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Well, who cares? Or why? No. And then the incident I told you guys with the YouTube.
Yeah.
So there was a she's watching that show. What is Me or You? What's
You.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go, is this about the crazy guy or whatever? And she goes, you've seen this before. I said, I've never watched this show ever in my life. And she goes, Keon, I saw you watch this show. You're on season. You watched the whole season. I said, okay, first of all, I could understand if you accused me of watching a show, and maybe I forgot to watch an episode. I'm not going to forget that I watched an entire season.
At least
of a
8 to
show.
10 to 12 episodes. Yeah.
She's like, are you serious right now? I was like, no, are you serious? You're trying to tell me what I have seen with my own eyes, and I forgot I watched a season. She was like, I sat here and saw you. I said, maybe you saw somebody else. Maybe I was watching a preview.
Maybe it was a hologram.
I said, maybe I was watching a preview, and you saw me watching a preview, and in your mind, I
clocked,
watched that
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I've never seen that show. She's like, you see? I was like, you're really going to tell me what I've seen?
You know what's funny? And then we had the dialogue
Yeah.
in the group chat.
Yeah.
And I told my girl, like, right, because she was sitting next to me in that moment. And she started, like, cracking up laughing because she was like, you know, the first thing that popped in my mind was that motherfucker probably did watch that show.
And it's like,
And I was like, y'all are all just crazy.
They're
It's
insane.
nuts.
So I'm like, you're gonna die on this hill. And she was like, I saw you. She was like, really? So you're gonna? And she's talking to me like I'm
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
She's like, you're really gonna do that? I said, she goes, she went as far as I'm gonna go on your profile.
Oh, wow.
And see if you watch the show. I said,
Wow.
Go ahead. She went on there. Not only had I never
Not
seen the
watching
show,
It's
Yeah.
not even
I
in
never
my...
seen a. You know, I did the
I've
red
never even
is-
seen
yeah.
shows
The
related
preview
to
of
that
the-
show.
yeah, you heard
the red wasn't there or anything. So I go, I have never seen this show. And I sat there and told you I'd never seen it. And you know what? Instead of just saying,
You know what?
shit,
I'm gonna go in the back and you come
I
talk
took
to
a
me
shower.
when you get on my level.
I took a shower, came back, and I said, I ain't gonna lie, I need an apology.
Yeah.
I said, I need an apology because you really went that far of something
Yeah.
I was telling you wasn't. And then you didn't even say, shit, I was tripping.
Uh-huh.
You never gave me nothing.
What is her like?
Her whole thing be like, when she's wrong or when she...
What's
well, it
her
doesn't
apology?
matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it
That's
does
her apology.
matter.
That's
It
her
does
apology.
matter. So on that night, I said,
That's her
no.
ceding defeat.
Nah, I need that. I'm
I
sorry.
said, I need
Yeah,
that.
damn.
I need that. I'm tripping. I'm
I
wrong.
know, but that like also
and that kills them.
that dips into the because it's the patriarchy.
I'm like, what are you doing?
It's
but when
you
it's the other way
submitting
around,
to the
Yeah.
patriarchy.
when it's the other way around, I have no problem. If
Yeah.
that, when it's the other way around,
'Cause
or
we're
when
more
we listen-
evolved.
I'll be,
Well, see, I didn't want to say it, Garrett. I didn't want to say it, but
No, I was telling Keenan in the car. I was like, y'all done gave us therapy. Now that we in therapy, like all y'all had was y'all emo. That was all y'all had on us.
Yeah,
but
we
now
like-
now we doing therapy.
Y'all got-
we about to
y'all
fuck
got-
y'all up.
now that we
Y'all,
tapping
we
in,
fucking y'all up.
That way
I'm gonna
actually-
say it.
we're actually-
Ladies,
Yeah.
niggas in therapy now. We fucking y'all up
that's the truth. We whooping y'all ass.
on the emotional front.
because we already had the logic.
Yeah, we got the
We already
logic.
had your logic.
Oh.
Now
Some
we're-
emotional
now
baggage.
we're
Y'all
getting
done fucked
emotional.
up.
You got nothing.
You done
You
fucked
got
up.
nothing. So her thing is always like, it doesn't matter, and I'd be like, no, give me the I'm tripping, or because I need that self. you don't do this enough.
Yeah.
I do this all the time.
Yeah.
I point here first, and that I think that goes into how we're raised too.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I've said this out loud a bunch of times, when guys are raised, it's always, well, how do you fix it? How is it your fault?
Yeah.
Like, no excuses.
We're
They're allowed to point fingers their whole life.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It was this. We're like, fix it, get it done, like you. And so we just be like, the first thing when something goes wrong in my life, the first thing I do is be like, what did I do?
Yeah. And
how did I cause
and
this?
how can I fix it?
Yep. Well, they'll be like, well, they did this, and they no. Here,
Accountability.
Could you help me fix this?
right?
I feel a lot of, and honestly, like a lot of men struggle and are stunted when they're unwilling to accept accountability and just blame the environment and the world for everything that they're going through. But on that note, I wanted to ask about financial instability, given this what we do, but also the vulnerability in that. Whereas your paychecks are your shit, your income is up and down.
Right.
It's volatile.
Right.
Where are you in terms of telling your girl who may be in a more financially stable position, like, hey, I ain't got it this month.
Bro.
Or are you 50-50? Where are you in that space of like,
well,
gentlemen, I haven't been there in a long time. So.
Yeah.
this nigga. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna come back when I'm on their level to engage.
You see this house?
This nigga, man.
They got apartments, right?
He's just so hard to talk to. He can never just be outside of his own.
I was there at one point. Yeah. But I evolved.
You know what's funny?
I feel you though.
To talk about multiple levels of it, right? I remember one time, like, I don't know about y'all. When I say I'm broke, I'm not broke. I don't know if you guys say that.
No,
right?
I know. No,
you know what I mean?
I think
when I say I'm broke, that means I'm lower on money than I want to be, but I don't have no money. Like, I have money to
broke
pay.
This is where my bar was. I can't drop below this.
Exactly.
So I'm not spending money.
Right.
I said I got to keep, let's say $500.
Right.
Keep $5. I'm not going below the $5, so I'm tapped.
Right.
I got it.
So I remember one time I was on the phone with my dad, right? And I had...
You okay with your lady knowing that you are at your minimum?
Wait, so I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So I thought I was, right? And then I was on the phone with my dad, and I had mentioned that, Dad, I'm a little bit broke right now. I'm gonna need that because I gave my dad some money to try to give me some investment property at one point. It wasn't a lot, but he said he can work with me.
How much was it?
It was a couple grand.
Okay.
So she didn't know how much I gave.
So you wasn't broke.
I knew that, but that was what I had in my account.
Nigga, this is my money.
We was fresh in the game.
Well, here's the thing. What I had in my account and what I had gave to him was different. So what I had in my account was pretty low, and I needed him to give me that money back so my account would go back up. So all she heard was me say that I'm broke. Her broke means I have no money. The rent's not coming. She is. So when I got off the phone, that whole week, she's panicking because we have rent due.
Yes.
Rent is already paid on my end, even without him giving me that money back. Rent is already paid, but she's sitting there, and she's like, at first she asked me, did I want to go somewhere, like on a date somewhere? I was just like, nah. And she's like, see.
Oh, she was testing it.
Yeah, she's like, I see you were broke, and how much? Just tell me how much I have to pay for rent this month. All right? Just tell me how much. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like,
we good.
You don't have to pay anything.
We
like,
good.
I have rent for actually the next few months, and so once she had that panic moment. And she didn't even come to me. She had an energy in the rest of the house for the rest of that month. That was just all because she thought I had a certain amount of money that I didn't even have. And I was just like, yo, first of all, why didn't you express that? Two, when I had to tell her, I was like, when I'm broke, I'm not broke. But now I know I can't tell you my money situation fully because as a man, you're looking at me like you're panicking because if anything ever really hits the fan, you're expecting me to take care of shit. Like when she's broke, she's flipping out too. And she's
when they're broke, account is about to be overdrawn.
Yes,
broke.
It's on a lower end. But my thing is too, like she had an issue where she didn't tell me that. Like she was lower on funds, and it's just like she started to kind of like her energy shifted in the house, and it's like, yo, just tell me if you're having an issue with that because I need to now know. I have investments, so I have a few investments.
But it sounds like it's the same in reverse, though.
But I never told her. I never panicked when she didn't tell me at all she was low on funds. I had to
So what do you feel like is going on in your relationship to where y'all can't be transparent?
Well, here's the thing. when we had a discussion,
I'm in the same boat though. But go ahead.
No, here's the thing. I don't know. I asked that because I'm real. Like I'm transparent. Like I'm like, yo, what about me lets you know that, or says to you that you can't come to me about something like that? And what I think it was is when I said I was broke that time. It goes back to that. She don't ever want to. She thinks that I'm not probably in the best financial position right now because I do penny pinch. But it goes back to like that. It's like I don't like spending money on shit that I feel like I should be spending money on. Like I don't want to go out to eat for $150 for what?
So let's say.
So when she sees that, she goes, "Oh, well, I complain about money a lot when we go out to eat." So she assumes that I don't have money because I complain about it. It's like, no, nigga, it's just make it make sense.
Yeah.
But I think that goes back to how we're raised as well. Like we're raised to take care of things. We're raised. So I'm always planning when my house flooded.
Yeah, right.
If I wasn't the way I was, we would have been fucked.
Yeah.
But I had put so much money away, and we had to come out of pocket at first.
Right.
So I had to pay $10,000 out of pocket. If I wasn't the way I was, putting stuff away, hiding money from you, blah, blah, we wouldn't have had that money.
You would have been in my apartment with me, man.
Yeah. I'd have been the whole family in Keenan's apartment. And I'm like, yo, this is why I do what I do.
Right.
Because when shit comes up, or when you lose your job, or whatever, I have it.
Which also speaks to compatibility, which we spoke about prior, because she doesn't have that mindset. So, but they complement because you do.
Right.
So as long as if y'all both was kind of off the rails, then it would be different.
Right.
But I wanted to ask Keenan. So, what if there was a situation where you could not uphold your half? Do you go to her and like, babe, we a team. I ain't got it this month.
Would I go to her first? That's the difference. Because the difference is
I'm with you.
I have been in that situation, not to cut you off, where I didn't have mine. I didn't tell her. I hit one of my niggas who had it.
Exactly.
I said, my brother.
Exactly.
Listen.
Exactly.
I will get you back.
1,000%.
And I know every dude I know has done it because I've been the borrower and the giver.
1,000%.
And it's like, I'm not going to tell her that.
What is it about it to where you can't tell her like, babe, I don't, and you know she got it, and you can't tell her, babe, I ain't got it this month. I have my reasoning.
Being a broke black man is just so,
okay.
You just fed that your whole. You can't be that.
Or like it's part of it is that, but part of it is like, so are you setting up a scenario that she for sure has, like she for sure is making like $10,000, $15,000?
Oh yeah. My girl is always has her half. But she's like, we almost broke up because like she's naturally she's an anxious person.
Yeah.
So you put out feelers and you see what a person can handle. Can they handle this information? Is this too much for them? Will this overwhelm them?
Right. Exactly.
So she's the type of person, if I present to her like I don't have my half, or there's a possibility that I may not have my half, she's gonna go off into this whole other like, oh my God, what if she? Oh my God, what if? Yeah, she's gonna go off into we're gonna be sucking dick for shelter.
Yeah.
Essentially. So for me, I'm like, I will never present that level of vulnerability to you because I know that you can't handle it. And I grew up in a house where my mother was the breadwinner and her husband, my stepdad, didn't make as much. And she never let that nigga not know about that. He knew every day.
We're in a very similar boat in that sense. Because I literally watched that same thing with my dad and his ex-wife. She made a lot more money. She was making well into the 6
I would never let a woman know.
And she would destroy my dad with that for no reason.
It's emasculating.
Yeah, it's very. So it was like, even though I don't necessarily think my woman is like that, I don't even want to put her in a position to have to probably be that way. And it's like, and in most cases, like, I feel like a lot of women, they just don't fully respect the man that they've had to provide for.
Exactly.
So even if it's for just that month,
because it's also if you think about it, it's a new thing, like women being sort of the sole provider in a house where the man is present. It's a fairly new thing, and in my experience, I don't think that women know how to wield that power for good.
Right.
Like a man traditionally is the breadwinner. Right. He's the provider.
So when she's the breadwinner.
But when she's the breadwinner, the provider, like, she gonna let you know, nigga, you broke.
Yeah, you ain't doing your job.
I'm doing it. This is all me.
Yeah, but
I'm just letting you know.
But you know what's funny is they're not doing their traditional work.
Play a video game, but they gonna let you know. This is all me.
But you know what's funny? When they're not necessarily doing their traditional thing, at least for me, I don't necessarily throw it back in their face. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
And that, to me, that's where it's like, that's why we can't tell you, because you're going to, it's like, sometimes they'll be like, well, you know, you think I'm gonna look down on you. It's like, no, majority of the time,
even subconsciously.
If you're paying the rent, are you fucking me the same?
Even subconsciously.
Okay,
Even subconsciously.
because I wasn't chiming in because I'm like, Cotty met me broke. She knew I was broke. Everybody knows the stories. I'm on the bus, like blah blah, and she let it ride. But then, like I revealed in the first episode, come to find out,
Right.
she was thinking like, why ain't you taking care of this whole time? Even though she didn't say nothing or whatever, whatever like that. And then she reveals, now that everything is the way it is now, that she would love to be taken care of. And she would. I'm like, you never said that.
Yeah.
That's the
And
majority
so
of
now,
women,
now
though.
that things are this way, she's like, and I think, I don't know if it's nature. I don't know if it's. I think a part of her likes the fact. Let me go ask my husband for some money. Like, let me go. Like, even she said, even when we got married,
a security
calling
thing.
herself a wife, like just those
The
little
security
things of
element.
like. I ain't got to
Like,
pay
I'm
my
good, I'm
bills.
taking care of it. Yeah, my man
Like
take care of
when I noticed, like, I'm like, how you always conveniently forget your money when you go get your nails done? So I got to show up with cash, give you the money.
It's kind of yeah.
But,
In the nail salon. Wait. Hold on.
That
Paint the picture.
infuriated me
She's
right
in the nail salon. You gotta walk
She's
into the
in the
nail
nail
salon,
salon.
pull out your cash,
Are you
and
there
pay
with her
for
already
it.
get to drive there?
No,
Okay.
I pull up.
Oh,
Open the
shit.
door. She at the door. I'm like,
Yeah.
bop, 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 bop. Here you go.
That's
And then I think for them it is like a.
it's like girl.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
my man
got
got
it.
it. Yeah.
So,
But
it's
we're
just
also
like-
in the world of independence and the
Right.
in the the
But
That's
in her defense, honestly, when I'm doing it, I feel fantastic.
yeah.
I
Oh no,
feel-
likewise.
When
Yeah,
I'm in the
likewise.
store or whatever, my boys be like, "Daddy, I want this." I'm like, you know what? Just go ahead,
Get
and
it.
go ahead and
Yeah.
get it. Whatever. That feels good as shit.
It does.
'Cause I don't never want nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. When Christmas
I don't like
comes
shit.
around,
I don't even like anything.
Yeah.
And whatever I need, I just go get. So I never ask for gifts. I never ask because I'm just like,
Which is interesting.
I'll just go get it.
Cause fuck. All right, I'll just tell you real quick of how me and my girl almost broke up over this money shit.
I would love to hear this.
So we were living in downtown. We were living like by USC in an apartment. She wanted to get out of it. It was too loud. The neighborhood was too vibrant. It was too much culture.
Yeah. If you know anything about the USC area,
It is though.
you know the USC area can be a
It could be.
It was
great
poppin'.
school, but
Yeah.
it can be a very.
It was popping though. It was popping. I loved
Yeah.
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was,
I lived over there before. I loved it
yeah,
too. Yeah.
Hispanic neighborhood. It was, there was vibing all through the night. She's trying to sleep. She can't sleep. Having mental breakdowns because the noise too loud. It was a whole situation. But so she found us another place in North Hollywood. It was a little more, suburban, a little more family oriented. And, we going in, submitting our information to get the apartment. The landlord gets back to me. She's like, "You got something going on with your credit. I don't know if we'll be able to, if we'll be able to do this." So the information gets back to her. It's like, we might not be able to get this apartment because they're really big on credit and you got a credit situation.
Yeah.
It's since been taken
You
care of.
do
Like, I'm
okay.
doing very well now.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
doing very well.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
okay.
doing very
Let them know,
well.
Gary.
I'm kidding. The credit situation is ongoing. Anyway, no, but we almost didn't get the apartment. So she sat me down. She was like, I've asked you, like, if you had anything in your history, in your credit history that we may not be, that, would keep us from getting this apartment.
Yeah.
And you said everything was fine. And like, so basically kind of approaching me, confronting me like on my finances and why my credit is not up to par to her level. And like, why wasn't I transparent about this? And I was like, babe, because you're a worrier. Like, I'm not a worrier.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know shit'll get done.
Yeah.
I know we'll get the apartment. Like, I know I just act in good faith. Like, the universe will provide answers.
Yeah.
And but she was like, but you should have been. And I was like, babe, I'm a fucking comic. I have a day job, and I spent 6 months in Michigan with you, taking care of the newborn and shit. Like, I wasn't working. Where do you think I was just getting money from?
Yeah.
Like, where do you think this money's coming from?
Yeah.
I'm not on the road. I'm not working my day job. Like, what do you think is happening? It makes sense for me to have bad credit. It makes sense.
Makes sense. That bad credit, though? You didn't have
It's
bad credit.
logic. Logic tells you this nigga ain't got no money. How is he making money? He's here in Michigan, not making money. Now we can't get an apartment because he doesn't have job security. Yes, nigga, I'm a comic. So we ended up getting the apartment because the universe answers.
Yeah, should be working out.
But yeah, we almost broke up for that. Like, she was like, You know, you got to get on your game.
But finances is like the number one cause of like most breakups and divorces.
I actually looked up this morning. Was the number one cause of divorce?
What was?
Cheating.
It's cheating, finances, and basically they like lumped bad communication into like one.
Yeah.
Like it was like all these different things, and they like, but those are like I think those are the top three.
The two main things, yeah. And it's like,
oh, and lack of intimacy was in there, like not smashing.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it goes. I'm kind of. I feel like my side is a lot more on Gary's. Like whether it's watching my dad get belittled, and then also too knowing that my partner has a lot more anxiety when it comes to just life than I do. It's like I feel like
I can handle that.
Yeah, I can handle death and all the stuff in the family, and handle your shit.
Yeah. And
when you're going through one thing that's your shit, it's hard for you to handle. If I go on a bake, I come to you about something. It's like I got a lot going on right now. So since I know that. All of that I can even be going through, I don't put on you. So finances, when it comes to that, that's why I say I'm with Keon in that sense too. It's like, I think we're all in that agreement.
Oh, nigga, I borrow so much money from my mama.
Yeah,
nigga, so much money from my mama.
Luckily, I never really had to go down that route. I kind of always was able to get my bread, or I always had bread kind of stashed away to go grab back. But it was.
I love how you niggas just have all this money, just like. Oh yeah, we had a little $10,000 setback. Yeah, I just went into the little stash.
But everybody knows how cheap I am. To build those nest eggs, I don't spend a dime.
Niggas, man, I'm like, wow,
well, look,
nigga,
I don't spend
a $10,000 hit, nigga. I'm on the block.
I would.
I love how niggas just automatically think like we just have access to the block like that. Like nigga, I'm on the block. I'm selling crack. Nigga,
oh yeah, that's always I go to. Yeah. And what's funny about that? I actually tried to do that. I was struggling, and I hit this girl I knew who was big, like big.
You was like, so how
that
do
I was smashing at the time?
into? Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm gonna need you to. She was like, nigga,
no. You don't just get in the game. I don't know. We just think that's automatic plan B.
No, like, and it was so like it was basically like, oh, so no, your job is to smash, and I will pay for things.
Yeah.
It was just so, but I was like, yo, I need to put me on.
Like, no, I'm not fucking managing you.
I mean, for me now, my thing is with that is like I just make sure I always throw a little bit of money in investments. So when I'm getting a check, whatever, I throw a little bit of bread in investments here and there, and it ends up adding up. And then luckily, I've made some solid investments. Even though crypto is hella down right now, I got in so early in some cryptos that I'm up a lot.
Okay.
So it's like to me, when I tell her I'm broke, I'll be like, yo, my last resort is to go pull my investment money out. That is when my bank account is probably damn near on zero. I'm like, fuck, I got to go grab this particular money now to pay for our rent for the next few months. But it's there. At least it's there.
My broke is savings. I don't touch my savings.
Okay.
If I have to touch the savings,
I don't have a savings.
Yeah. Nigga, get us. Well, honestly, savings ain't necessarily a bad thing.
Well, because
your savings ain't making you money anyway.
I automatically put everything I get. I automatically put a certain percentage away, and I do not touch it. And that's just it. So if that particular month, if we can't eat out or we can't, then that's just not. I'm not touching that savings.
Yeah.
So once I put that 20-25% away of what we got, that's it. That's gone. So even when our joint account is like depleting and I'm watching it deplete and I'm telling her like look, this is all that's in there. She's looking at, no, we got all. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not there. Pretend that's not there.
That's
we have
zero.
this.
Yeah.
And if you go do this, this is done. But now we're at a point where I'm just like, all right, just if your miscellaneous extra things, I'll just pay for it out of my half or whatever. You pay your whatever you agreed to pay bills wise. Everything else I'll cover. And so the savings doesn't get touched. My account just, I just take it out of there. I'll be like, whatever. Like I feel like that's my job. Whatever.
As a man.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. Plus, like I said, it makes me feel good. I ain't even gonna lie. So I'm like,
let me ask you this question: are your partners more frugal when they're broke, and less frugal, like even if you're broke or whatever?
No, I wish.
Like I feel like I know with me when I say like, hey, mom, just chill. We can't be going out to eat. Like, well, why not? I'm letting you know. I'm
broke.
Yeah, I'm a little lower.
But is rent gonna be covered? Like, what are we gonna do?
What
are we gonna do?
But for some reason, when I'm like, yo, we can't be eating out like that. Just for the rest of this month or whatever the case may be. There's like an air of like, well, why not? I want to go on a date. Why can't we do this? But when the flip side comes, when her funds are low, I'm like, yo, let's go somewhere where the case may be. I'm like, you're not even paying.
Yeah.
Like, what do you? I just gotta stay in the house, get everything together. I'm like, nigga, you're not even using your money to pay for this.
Yeah.
I'm using my money. You're hella frugal and hella cheap when it's your bread. But when it's my bread and I'm trying to be cheap, you're like, why are you being cheap? Like, why can we go out and pay $80 for dinner or $100 for dinner tonight? I'm just like, nigga, I told you I'm trying to dial it back. But then when it's your turn, I can, for some reason, I can comprehend you being like, hey, I'm broke. So I'm like, yo, even if it's my birthday, right? If it's my birthday and she's low on funds, I'd be like, look, make me a nice dinner. We good to go. We'll figure something out later down the line. If it's the other way around, if she has a birthday, she might, hey, don't worry about it. Figure it out, nigga. Like, it's
I'm
like,
telling you,
make sure my birthday's kind of still popping. With me, I'm just kind of like, I got to take the L this year.
Yeah.
And then next year, hopefully, everything's together. But
I gotta start saving, man. I need a financial advisor or something. I don't spend anything on anything, but
Chris, nigga.
it just so happens that I don't like anything.
Yeah.
You know, but like if I got $200 in a bank account, and she like, let's go to dinner. I'm like, yeah, all right. It's like, I'll figure it out.
We're eating sandwiches.
I'll figure it out. But I just happen to not like shit. Like, there's nothing to really spend money on for me.
Well, we're at a point now, though, when it comes to her funds and my funds, it's not really as much. It's just our shit.
I don't want to, because you have joint accounts, right?
Yeah, we had.
I'm not a joint account dude.
We used to have.
I guess because I'm so bad with money.
Separate accounts.
That would make sense, Gary.
Yeah, now it's all coming together.
Then she'll be able to see.
Yeah, I don't like.
But you should.
I
do
gamble and shit.
See.
$3,000 just disappeared from the account. And she's like, "What happened to $3,000?" I was like, "The Bulls, man."
I gamble. Missed the layup.
Yeah, I gamble. Nigga, you niggas ain't, man, I'm gonna tell y'all, you niggas ain't toxic enough for this show. We gotta get some new niggas on this show. Because you niggas not fully embracing the toxicity of this existence.
But we have a separate, and a joint. Yep. For a while, she counted her separate because she was that ridiculous with money. She was like, I just can't be trusted. So I don't need my own money. So it was just a joint in my own, and then she reopened her own, and I said, okay, this is what we doing now. I was so excited about it, though, because I was like, I don't think she understood how much of our money she was spending. Because when we had the joint, she just can grab stuff. I said, let's see, when I put my money over here and you put yours over here, let's see how that goes. And it took about, I don't know, a few months. She was like, I ain't got no money. I have plenty.
Right.
And I was like, I just want you to that just shows you how much you were spending.
How long?
I just want you to see that.
Yeah. How long did it take to get to that point? Because I know you were telling her, like, you're overspending. Right. She was like, no, I don't. No. And then you finally got to the point where it was like, let's have something. Let's just social experiment this.
She opened her own, and I was like, and I'll open mine. And then it didn't take long. And then she was like, I got no money. So I said, I'm good.
So that's how because how we set up our accounts in that sense. We went the route of like, we're gonna have a joint account. But we already had our separate accounts, right, at different banks. And our joint account is only for bills and, like, pretty much just our bills and stuff like that. Anything else, or when we went to Hawaii, whatever the case may be, we started to pull some money out of there for that. But other than that, if she's going to, like, go grab food, go out, if that joint account is touched, all hell will break loose.
Yeah, I watch it like a hawk. I watch it like a hawk.
Yeah, I don't like that feeling, like
because you're the spender. But she has to be on your ass because if she's not, and I'm gonna be homeless.
But then I also don't like I'm gonna be homeless for sure. But I also don't like motherfuckers telling me what to do.
Well, that's something you have to get over.
I hate a motherfucker telling me what to do.
If you can't check yourself, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't need checking. I'm good. I'm doing very well right now. So let's just hope.
Just gamble away.
If you can't do it, you gotta be cognizant enough to be like she was cognizant enough to be like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
She's an artist.
I know I can't.
You niggas ain't artists. I don't know what you niggas are. Y'all not embracing the true lifestyle of an artist.
I will say that.
I did that. I did that for too long. I don't want to do it again. Now it's the benefits of it.
Niggas are too responsible to be artists.
Well, my lady, that's what I'm saying. I will agree with that. It's like she's never really spent, when it comes to that, our money's not necessarily being spent on bullshit when it's the joint account stuff. I can't really name a time where I looked in there and she was like, well, I took $200 out to go get this particular thing. Even if it was like a TV or she knows, like, hey, I'll be like, when I bought a TV for the house, we didn't do the joint account. I said, hey, I'm going to buy a TV. And then only thing I got mad about, because she's like, well, if you want to buy a TV for the house, because we had a smaller TV. I was like, we need a bigger TV. She was like,
well, how big is it now? And how big does she think it is?
Yeah. Why does it matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
When I Googled it was 55 inches. When I Googled it was 55.
Oh shit.
She was like, is it 40? I said, nigga, it's 55. I Googled it. I had the box. But I remember when I said I wanted a TV for the living room for the house. And she was just like, well, we can keep using like this little 32 inch. I was just like, she's like, I'm not going to pay for that because I don't even watch TV like that anyways. And then the only thing that pissed me off was when I bought the 55 inch TV and put it in the living room, which is a solid size, not a great size. Let me tell you who watches that goddamn TV.
She watches
Right,
TV.
oh, of course.
She watches TV.
Just like
not even close.
Just like they're not hungry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want anything.
I said, you gonna pull money from your account to now add to that TV? She was just like, I don't even watch it. I don't even watch it. That I was like, nigga, you watch 9 seasons of Golden Girls on this TV almost every week.
By my calculations,
you watch. And how you? I don't understand how you watch Golden Girls this goddamn. You watch Golden Girls every weekend for like 7 hours.
Oh my god! You in my house watching white shows on my TV.
But my thing is just like that was the only thing I kind of like. Don't tell me to spend my money on something that you know you're going to use either as much or more than me, and then act like nigga that's a waste of money. But you sitting there over here, you having a good ass time.
Yeah.
It's like my thing is just like I was just like you ain't got to put it in half. I was just like yo, just give me a little something. And she didn't.
Why do you need that though? Why do you need a little something? Why you can't just buy the TV, put it up? She enjoy it. Y'all live happy.
Let me tell you something. I did, nigga. I literally.
You thought she was taking advantage of the gift?
No, but they're still early. They're so early that it's everything's separate.
I love the separate. I love the idea of just buying the TV.
And this is before marriage.
Right. Yeah, you still got it. It's like yo, 50-50, whatever.
See, like I don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like out the gate, I don't want to make decisions with you.
Well, you had a baby with her, so
Yeah.
nigga,
I know,
and
it's proven to be very difficult and complicated, which is the hardest thing. But like, no, I just want to go buy a TV, put it up, and we enjoy it.
I mean,
I don't want to involve you in that process.
We'll make more money, nigga.
I'm doing very well.
All right, well, on that note, we're going to check out. Thank y'all for tuning in. What you got coming up?
So you know me, man. I'm just trying to upgrade these mics. You know what I'm saying? It's all about this show right now.
For me. So shut your ass up in the comment section talking about,
which your complaints are justified. I get it.
You are.
But we got mics now, as you know from the last episode. So
yeah.
And then we're going to get some other stuff too.
And Keon will probably get a live mic himself at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
Keon, like you said, he's a cheap nigga.
He makes a lot of excuses.
He trying to make that mic that he has. It's not working, but I'm going to make this shit work. We paid for it.
Oh, because she already bet. She bought it behind my back.
There it is.
You know what I mean? She bought it behind my back. Never used it a year ago. I can't return it.
For the joint account?
Huh?
For the joint account?
Of course. That's how I saw it.
Y'all got to make decisions together. That's the point of y'all being in a union.
She bought it, and I was like, what do you need this for?
Together.
Never used it one time. It's too late for me to return to Amazon, so I got to make it work. Because you're not going to just throw my money down the drain. I have to make this work somehow. You know what I mean? But
damn, I just realized I don't like the idea of traditional marriage. I want to be married, but just date. Everything's separate. I do my thing, you do your thing.
I think here's the thing.
That's cool.
I mean, I think there's a whole other topic we can get into. But
all right, we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah. But Kenan Baker. I forgot when this is going to exactly air, but I think it's airing.
Not this weekend, but the next weekend.
So I think after my Nashville date. So I would just say, Miami. I'll be in Miami with. So
this will be the 11th and 12th, I think.
When this drops.
Yeah.
At this time, I will be in Nashville, Tennessee, and with Tony, and then I'll be in Miami the following weekend with Tony. So if y'all in any of those cities, come see us and support. We're having a good ass time.
I got nothing. I'll be in LA telling jokes, and then
when's your Houston date? It
already happened.
Okay.
But I do have I Don't Care hoodies and gray and black and the Hella hoodies. I don't even know if they're going to still be here by the time this airs because they're selling hella fast. But go ahead and grab those and then just support the show, share the shows. I mean, tell your friends about it or whatever so we can pick up this ad revenue. So, Gary can go blow his money away.
I don't like anything. That's the great thing about it. I don't like shit. Watch the Miss Pat show, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Watch the Miss Pat show. Gary's writing on there.
Funny show, too.
Check that out, man. And we out.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel for my brother.